Dad leaned in, his voice low enough for only me to hear. "Tell me, the 500,000 I gave you, what did you do with it?" My chest tightened. My fork froze midair. 500,000? What do you mean? The table went silent. Then I saw it. My sister's face draining pale, her hand trembling around her glass. The room spun in slow motion. And in that instant, I knew it was time. 30 minutes later, the police arrived. Growing up, my sister and I were a picture-perfect pair. She was the golden girl, the darling who smiled brightest in family photos. I admired her once, trusted her without question. But envy has sharp teeth. I saw it, even as kids. When Dad praised my grades, her jaw tightened. When I got the internship she wanted, she hugged me too long, whispering congratulations that felt like venom. I dismissed it, told myself it was my imagination. After all, blood is supposed to mean trust, until blood became betrayal. It started small, a number that didn't add up in Dad's trust account. A transfer labeled under my name, but with details I never touched. At first, I thought it was a bank error. But then came the second transfer, and the third. Clean, careful withdrawals. $500,000 in total. Gone. I dug deeper. The trail led to shell companies, fake signatures, a web of forged documents, and buried in those shadows was her name. Not by accident. She'd made it look like I was siphoning the money. My details were on the wire slips, my email linked to the accounts. If anyone checked, I was the thief. She hadn't just stolen, she had framed me. The night I realized, something inside me cooled. I didn't rage, I didn't confront her. I studied, I watched. Every call she took behind closed doors, every file on her laptop she thought was hidden, every receipt she crumpled too quickly. She thought I was blind. She thought I was naive. But I was silent, because silence is sharper than screaming. And in that silence, I started building her coffin. First, I copied everything: emails, bank trails, phone logs. Evidence strong enough to outlast her lies. Then I turned the trap inward. She forged signatures in my name. I let her. She created fake loan agreements under my details. I let them stack. Every move she made, I let her believe she was winning, because the higher she climbed, the harder she'd fall. Finally, I gave Dad the smallest nudge. A casual remark about expenses not lining up. A shrug about money feeling tight. Just enough to stir suspicion, to send him searching. And I knew where suspicion would land first. On me. That was the brilliance of it. She built the crime under my shadow. But when Dad asked the question at the dinner table, the whole room became my stage. 500,000? I said, keeping my voice calm, steady. I never saw a cent. The silence stretched, unbearable. I looked around the table, uncles, cousins, Dad. Their eyes narrowed, searching me for cracks. But I didn't break. I let their gazes shift. And that's when I saw it. Her, my sister, pale, fidgeting, the mask slipping. Her lips parted like she wanted to speak, but the words died. I didn't accuse. I didn't point. I simply held her in my stare until Dad turned too. Suspicion shifted, slow but certain, from me to her. She scrambled, mumbling about errors, banks, misunderstandings. Her voice cracked under its own weight. And that's when Dad left the table, phone in hand. The sirens came quick. Blue and red lights washed the curtains in harsh color. 2 officers stepped in, papers ready. They didn't say my name, they said hers. I watched her face collapse as they read the charges. Fraud, embezzlement, forgery. She shook her head, tears spilling. "It's not me, it's him, it's a mistake, please." But mistakes don't come with timestamps, signatures, and wire transfers in her handwriting. They cuffed her in front of everyone. The golden girl, dragged out in disgrace. As they let her out, she looked at me. And for the first time, I let her see the truth in my eyes. Not anger, not triumph, just a cold, steady calm. She understood. I had known all along. I had waited, and I had won. Dad didn't ask me again. He poured himself a drink, his hands trembling, his eyes avoiding mine. The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was final. The reflection. People say revenge rots you from the inside, that it makes you less than human. But I don't feel hollow. I feel clean. I didn't shout. I didn't strike. I let her destroy herself, one forged signature at a time. Justice doesn't always come in courtrooms. Sometimes it comes at the family dinner table, under the weight of a single question. That night, one truth crystallized in me. In every family, someone wears the mask of the lamb, and someone sharpens the teeth of the wolf. She thought I was the lamb. She was wrong.